I often get questions about fighter kite spinning and how to prevent it from spinning only in one direction, how to control the spin, and many other related issues that fighter kite flyers seem to have, especially newer ones. Uh, so I'm going to talk about that by doing something that I find very useful. Now, the bridle can adjust for many, many things in a fighter kite and improve the performance by just properly adjusting the bridle. But there are a couple of things that affect the spinning of a kite that have nothing to do with the bridle. One of them is something that is not often talked about, but it is the balancing point from the nose to the tail of the kite. Now, what I do is put a straight edge from one wingtip to the other across the back side of the kite. Then I make a mark on the spine where that crosses. Now, this line from the wingtip to wingtip, I just call it the wingtip line. So where the wingtip line crosses the spine, I make a mark. Now, what I'm trying to do here is locate the place on the spine where I want the kite nose to tail balance to be. Now, if I balance the kite so that the balancing point is about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch towards the nose from the wingtip line, so if I measure just a short distance from the wingtip line and the kite balance is right there, let's say, and I check it by just putting my finger out and rest the kite spine on my finger until it balances. And that tells me where the balance point is. And on this kite, it's about right here. It's about ½ inch towards the nose from the wingtip line. Now I balance my kites there or close to there because when I do, the type of a spin or the style of a spin, however you want to describe it, is rotational. And by rotational, I mean that it just rotates around the center area of the kite when it begins to spin. And why do I like it like that? Because that is the quickest way for the kite to change direction. And I like to fly combat, I guess you'd call it, line touch combat. And having the ability to quickly maneuver the kite from one direction to another, to me, is important. Now, a kite doesn't have to spin like this. I mean, most kite flyers, frankly, don't like it. I think I'm one of the few who do. But the other style of spin, which is far more common, is something that I call circular or loopy. And I'm going to use this little miniature kite to try to show you what that might look like. So instead of rotating around its center, the kite simply makes a small circle when it's spinning. Makes a small circle or a larger circle depending on where the balance point is on the kite, the nose to tail balance. Now, the nose to tail balance is the only thing that I am concerned about with this because the right-left balance I can take care of with adjustments on the bridle, on the upper bridle yoke. That's very simple. So if it's not quite balanced right to left, I can adjust that. And with the balance point of the nose to tail of the kite at the place that I have it here, about a 1/2 inch noseward from the wingtip line, it'll rotate. But if I move that balance point towards the nose another 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch or more, the spin, the style of the spin changes to one that's more of a circular spin and not one that is rotational. So you have the ability to adjust the style of your spin on your kite simply by moving the location of the tail to nose balance. Well, how do you do that? Well, I use putty. I use the kind of putty that you get for putting up a poster on a wall. It's kind of a sticky, a stretchy thing. I carry some of this on my kite reel in case I need it. If the kite balance needs to be closer to the nose for the style of spin you prefer, you might have to put a little bit of weight at the nose of the kite to accomplish that. And then you fly the kite, see how it spins with that amount of weight, whatever that is, and then bring the kite back in, take some weight off or add more, try it again until the spin is exactly the way you want it to be. Now, this is very easy, and all it does really is just move the location of the balance, nose to tail balance, from near the wingtip line closer to the nose. So I hope that's helpful in getting you to adjust your kite so that it flies more the way you want it to and less the way you don't want it to. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the spine, and I'll do that in a different video, the following video, and how the spine impacts the spinning of a kite.